If you go into your local gun store looking for 223 or 556, you'll most likely see several American brands, but you'll also likely run into some imported stuff. For example, PPU from Serbia, Magtech from Brazil, and PMC from South Korea. PMC ammunition is manufactured by the Pungsan Corporation in either the Ang plant in, I'm not even going to try to say that, South Korea, or the Dongdae plant in Busan, sometimes called by its old name Pusan. Interestingly, the Pungsan Corporation is primarily a metal manufacturer, so they make many or all of the raw materials that go into their ammunition themselves, which gives them a lot of control over their product, leading to a good quality product, also for a good price. First, we're going to shoot the PMC bronze through a 16-inch barrel. $27.54. Error. $25.98. $27.25. Next we have PMC X-Tac 556 through the 16-inch barrel. $29.35. $29.54. $29.95. $29.68. Okay, we have PMC 223 through a 20-inch barrel. $28.30. $29.98. $29.12. $29.06. Now we're on to the X-Tac 556. I already fired one round. That was at $31.74. $31.01. $31.30. $31.16. Now, I only had a few rounds to shoot through each of these rifles for the velocity test. I'll shoot more of each round in the future in order to get more useful information. I had a noticeable outlier with the 223 in the 16-inch barrel, so if you exclude that outlier, the average velocity was 2,740 feet per second, and if you include it, the average goes down to 2,692 feet per second. With the 556 and the 16-inch barrel, we had an average velocity of 2,963 feet per second. Now with the 20-inch barrel, the 223 was at an average of 2,912 feet per second, and with the 556, 3,130 feet per second. With both of these rounds, the velocity increased by around 170 feet per second from the 16 to the 20-inch barrel, and with the 556, it was consistently about 220 feet per second higher than the 223 with both of the barrels. This is a fair reminder that 223 is almost always underpowered compared to 556. And also that all 556, even what's labeled M193, is not necessarily created equal. The Winchester M193 that we tested in a previous video had an average velocity that was about 120 feet per second higher than this PPC ammo. Now 120 feet per second might not seem like a lot, but 556 is very velocity based. A higher velocity means more effective terminal performance out to longer ranges. I'd also like to note that the reliable fragmentation threshold for 556, basically where 556 gets most of its effectiveness on the intended target, is at around 2,750 feet per second. That means that if you have PMC bronze 223 loaded in your 16-inch most common AR for home defense or personal protection or the like, you are already below the fragmentation threshold, meaning it is not a very effective ammo for personal protection, especially not when it's coming out of a 16-inch barrel. Now, next I'd like to look at the accuracy. And in this video, when I look at the accuracy, I did not have this rifle as configured with the 5x prism scope. Instead, I had a red dot on it. So as you look at these numbers, keep in mind that this isn't necessarily the most accurate type of optic to use at longer ranges.
Let's start with the PMC bronze. Next, let's shoot the PMC X-Tac M193 in 5.56. I am noticing a little more recoil. Neither of these two are bad groups. This is with the 223 and this is with the 5.56. You'll notice that the 223 is a little bit tighter and I pulled this one low. I'm pretty sure that that was just me and not indicative of the ammo. The 5.56 is a little bit wider, but still well within the margin of what you would expect for a round like this. It's perfectly fine for training, and I would say perfectly fine for other applications as well.
After getting home and measuring the groups with the 223, excluding that one really bad flyer, and yes, I am sorry about that, the group size was 3 5/16 inches. And with the 5.56, with all 9 shots, the group measured to 3 15/16 inches. Now, with only the top 8, which I thought was fair since we threw out one for the 223, that group size shrunk down to 3 1/8 inches. I've seen this ammunition perform better with better sighting options available for precision, but in my opinion, both of these ammunitions are very suitable for budget training ammo. So what are the takeaways from this? For defensive ammo, number one, if you were using a 223 round, it should probably be a hollow point or a soft point bullet so you can still get that terminal performance needed to perform when you need it most. If you are going to stick to an FMJ round, and there is a time for that, you should really stick to a proper spec'd M193. And related to that, number two, just because a round is labeled M193 does not mean that it is ballistically similar to another round labeled M193. In this case, this M193 ammo is significantly less powerful than the Winchester M193 that's made in the Lake City plant. Number three, PMC ammo, both 223 and 5.56, is good enough for training. If you're shooting out to further ranges, you might want an ammo that's more ballistically similar to your duty ammo, and in that case, maybe this PMC X-Tac 5.56 will be there. However, that's a decision that you need to make. If you would be interested in the future on seeing a video of what it's like to shoot this ammo out to longer ranges versus that Winchester ammo that's just a little bit more powerful, leave a comment down below and let me know. But in my opinion, within 200 yards for light plinking and that kind of thing, both of these ammos should work perfectly well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and leave a comment and tell me what you thought. And also, if you'd like to see me test other 5.56 ammos in the future, leave a comment down below letting me know which ones, or if you just want to see more videos like this. All of that being said, I'm 8mm Mauser Man, and I embraced my inner roof Korean for this video, but I lived on. Interestingly, the Pungtan clan
Keep the change, you filthy animal.